Ram Prabhu ji, Dharat Pranam Prabhu ji.
Are you coming to Vrindavan?
Yes, Prabhu ji.
So I can see you again. आपका दर्शन मिला था. Thank you.
Same here, same here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll all meet at Vrindavan next month.
Yeah, I am
Yes,
taking.
yes, I am also coming.
Oh,
Prabhuji,
very nice.
I am taking initiation, Prabhuji.
Oh, very
Oh,
nice.
good.
Lovely,
Very
lovely.
nice.
So आपका
Very good.
सबका विशेष आए.
Yes,
Ah,
yes. So nice.
that's wonderful.
So
All our good wishes are with you.
thank you so much. सबको धन्यवाद प्रणाम्स.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances and Dharat Pranam to all of you. I welcome you all to the early morning short Bhagavatam class organized by Radha Govinda Temple, Kolai, Bengaluru. I especially invite you for and on behalf of His Grace, Sri Ramanista Das Prabhuji. Let us begin with prayers. Prayers are very important. I would request you all to pray, keeping the mute button on. Prayers only help us understand what exactly Krishna wants to convey us. And that's very important because we need to put that in our practice of life. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Picharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagan Lalit Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitansh He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
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 ओम
ओम
नमो
नमो
भगवते
वासुदेवाय.
वासुदेवाय
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं तो जयमुदीरयेत्.
शृणतां स्वकथः कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः
श्रुताः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः
हृदयन्तस्तोयभद्राणि विधुनोति सुरस्तथा
हृदयन्तस्थो हि
हृदयन्तस्थो हि
भद्राणि
प्राणी
विधुनोति
नोति
सुहृत्सदा
सताम्
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं
नित्यं
भागवत
भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी
भगवती
भगवतीमुत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
Right, so we'll start with the fifth canto, the creative impetus, chapter number 18, the prayers of the residents of Jambudvipa,
Bhagavata Priyatamam
verse number 24 and 25. We'll take two verses. So all of you have ample chance to chant. Let us begin with Madhumai Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मात्स्यम् अवताररूपम् तद्वर्षपुरुषस्य मनोः प्राक् प्रदर्शितं सा इदानीमपि महता भक्तियोगेन आराधयतीदं चोदाहरति. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Prakash Rao Prabhuji, I have made you co-host.
हरे कृष्ण
Anjali
माता
Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मास्यम् अवतार रूपं तत्वर्ष पुरुषस्य मनोः प्राक् प्रदेशं प्रदर्शितं सः इदानीम् अपि महता भक्ति योगेन आराधयति इदं च उदाहरति. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Thank you, Mataji. Chitra Mohini Devi Dasi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
बुझी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मासम् अवतार रूपम् तद्वर्ष पुरुषस्य मनोः प्राक् प्रदर्शितं सा इदानीमपि महता भक्ति योगेन आराधयति दिं चोदाहरति. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. थैंक यू प्रभु.
Thank you, Mataji. Usha Bhatt Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यके च Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Sorry. Yes, Mataji.
रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मात्स्यमवताररूपं तद्वर्ष पुरुषस्य मनोः प्राक् प्रदर्शितं स इदानीमपि महता भक्तियोगेनाराधयति यतीदं चोदाहरति. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Prakash Rao Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Danut Pranam Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु धन्यवाद प्रणाम ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मत्स्यावताररूपं तद्वर्षपुरुषस्य मनो प्राक् प्रदर्शितां सा इदानीमपि महता भक्तियोगेन आराधनीयतं चोदाहरति. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Thank you. Usha Dayavati Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Ramyake Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Pranams Prabhuji. Ramyake cha Bhagavat Priyatamam Matsyam Avatara Rupam Tat Varsha Purushasya Manoha Prakrit Prasad Darshritam Saha Idanam Api Mahata Bhakti Yogena Aradayati Itam cha Udaharati. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Madhumati Vilasini Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मास्यमा अवताररूपं तदवर्षपुरुषस्य मनोः प्राक् प्रदर्शितं स इदानीमपि महता भक्तियोगेन आराधयतं चोदहरति थैंक यू प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Subharao Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Ranat Pranam.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंड प्रणाम ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मात्स्यमवतार रूपं तद्वर्ष पुरुषस्य मनो प्राक् प्रदर्शितं सैद आनीमपि महता भक्ति योगेनाराधयतीदं चोदाहरति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु
Thank you. Revati Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यकेश भगवत प्रियतमं मात्स्यम अवतार रूपम तत्वर्ष पुरुषस्य मनोह प्रदर्शितं स इदानीम् अभिमहता भक्ति योगेन राधाय दीतं सोदाहरति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी थैंक यू वेरी मच
Thank you. Pushpa Yasumati Devi Dasi ji. I am happy you are regular. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यकेश भगवदः प्रियतमं मास्यम् अवतार रूपं तत्वर्ष पुरुषस्य मनोह प्राक् प्रदर्शितं स इदानीम् अभिमहता भक्ति योगेन आराधयति इदं सोदाहरति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी थैंक यू प्रभु जी
Thank you. Prananandini Madhavi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मत्स्यावतार रूपं तद्वर्ष पुरुषस्य मनो प्राक् प्रदर्शितं स इदानीम् अपि महता भक्ति योगेन आराधयतीदं चोदाहरति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु थैंक यू प्रभु
Venkata Narsiha Das Prabhuji.
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
प्रभु
Prabhuji.
जी रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मत्स्यमवताररूपं तद्वर्षपुरुषस्य मनो प्राक्प्रदर्शितं सा इदानीमपि महता भक्तियोगेन आराधयतीदं सोदाहरति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Thank you. Srinivas Dayamaya Das Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी धन्यवाद
Pranam.
प्रणाम ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय रम्यके च भगवतः प्रियतमं मास्यम् अवतार रूपं तद्वर्ष पुरुषस्य मनोः प्राक् प्रदर्शितं स इदानीमपि महता भक्ति योगेन आराधयतीदं चोदाहरति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Thank you. Srinivas Rao Dayamaya Prabhuji. Can you read synonym for us?
यस प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण
Thank you, Prabhuji.
रम्यके च also in Ramyaka Varsha, Bhagavataha of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Priyatamam, the foremost, Matsyam, fish, Avatara Rupam, the form of the incarnation, Tatvarsha Purushya, of the ruler of the land, Manoha Manu, Prak, previously, at the end of Chakshusa Manavdara, Pradarshitam, exhibited, saw that Manu, idanam api, even until now, Mahata Bhakti Yogena, by dint of advanced devotional service, Aradhyati, worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Idam, this, Cha, and Udaharati, chants. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Sridas Prabhuji. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadeva Goswami continued, in Ramyaka Varsa, where Vaivasvata Manu rules, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as Lord Matsya at the end of the last era, the Chakshusha Manuvantara. So there are two Manuvantras that have been described here, Vaivasvata Manu and Manuvantara and Chakshusha Manuvantara. Vaivasvata Manu now worships Lord Matsya in pure devotional service and chants the following mantra. We'll go to the next mantra and there is a purport we'll discuss thereafter. Verse number 25. Madhumayi Krishnakant Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे
Please go ahead.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यतमाय। नमः सत्वाय प्राणाय ओजसे सहसे बलाय महामत्स्याय नम इति। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Chitra Mohini Javidasi.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यतमाय नमः। सत्वाय प्राणायोजसे सहसे बलाय महामस्याय नमः इति। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Thank you. Venkata Narasimha Das Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यतमाय नमः सत्वाय प्राणाय जौस्य सहस्ये बलाय महामत्स्याय नमः इति। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Thank you. Madhumati Vilasini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यतमाय नमः। सत्वाय प्राणाय जसे सहसे बलाय महामतस्याय नमः इति। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Thank you. Revati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यातमाय नमः। सत्वाय प्रोणयोजसे सहसे बलाय महमत्साय नमः इति। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you. Prakash Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यतमाय नमः सत्वाय प्राणयोजसे सहजे बलाय महामत्स्याय नमः इति। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you. Pranandandini Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यतमाय नमः। सत्वाय प्राण ओजसे सहसे बलाय महामत्स्याय नमः इति। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Thank you. Usha Bhatt Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यतमाय सॉरी ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यतमाय नमः। सत्वाय प्राणा Prabhuji, there is disturbance in the house. I'll read tomorrow, Prabhuji.
No problem. Srinivas Dayamaya Prabhuji. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Mukhyatamaya Namaha Satvaya Pranayojase Sahase Balaya Mahamatsyaya Namayiti. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Vijaya Kumari Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यधामाय नमः सत्वाय प्राणयौजसे शगचे बलाय महामत्साय नमः थैंक यू प्रभु जी
Subbarao Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam again. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Mukhyatamaya. Namas Sattvaya Pranayojase Sahase Balaya Mahamatsyaya Namaiti. Hare Krishna.
Anjali Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यतमाय नमः सत्वाय प्राणाय ओजसे सहसे बलाय महामत्साय नमः इति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Anjali Mataji, can you read synonyms for us?
यस प्रभु जी Om, O my Lord, Namah, respectful obeisances, Bhagavate, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukhya Tamaha, the first incarnation to appear, Namaha, my respectful obeisances, Satvaya, unto the pure transcendental, Pradnyaya, Pranaya, the origin of life, Ojase, the source of the potency of the senses, Sahase, the origin of all mental power, Balaya, the origin of bodily strength, Mahamatsyaya, unto the gigantic fish incarnation, Namaha, respectful obeisances, Iti, thus. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Anjali Mataji. Thanks a lot. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is pure transcendence. He is the origin of all life, bodily strength, mental power, and sensory ability, known as Matsyavatara, the gigantic fish incarnation. He appears first among all the incarnations. Again, I offer my obeisances unto him. Purport. Srila Jayadev Goswami sings.
Shall I sing,
Pralayo.
Prabhuji?
Read,
Go
Prabhu.
ahead. Go
Okay.
Shall I
ahead.
sing, Prabhuji?
Subbarao Prabhuji, go ahead.
प्रलय प्रयोधि जले धृतवानसि वेदम् विहितवहित्रचरित्रमखेदम् केशवधृतामीन शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे हरे कृष्ण
Thank you very much, Subbarao Prabhuji. Wonderfully read in meters. Thank you. Soon after the cosmic creation, the entire universe was inundated with water. At that time, Lord Krishna, Keshava, incarnated as gigantic fish to protect the Vedas. Therefore, Manu addresses Lord Matsya as Mukhyatama, the first incarnation to appear. Fish are generally considered a mixture of the mode of ignorance and passion. But we must understand that every incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is completely transcendental. There is never any deterioration of the Supreme Lord's original transcendental quality. Therefore, the Lord Satvaya is used here. meaning pure goodness on the transcendental platform. There are many incarnations of the Supreme Lord, Varahamurti, the boar form, Kurmamurti, the tortoise form, Hayagriva Murti, the form of a horse, and so on. Yet, we should never think any of them material. They are always situated on the platform of Suddha Sattva, that is pure transcendence. Earlier, we have seen the detail about the cosmic manifestation and how it is created. You all know about Mahat Tattva coming into action, and then various basic forms are created. And then that's part of the Sarga, and then subsequently Visarga, Brahma creates all living entities living in this cosmic manifestation. At the end of the creation of cosmic manifestation, before the living entities enter in, Brahma is the first one to get born. He is born out of the navel of the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and thus he doesn't have a mother. Lord Krishna fills up Lord Brahma with all the knowledge of Vedas. If we talk in the language of Srila Prabhupada, he injects Vedas in the heart of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is having 4 mouths because when he was born, he was wondering to find where the Lord is. He moved around up and down in the stem of the lotus where he was born, and he was quite desperate to locate the place and the person. The place is the cosmic manifestation and the person is the Lord. However, he couldn't find it, but he kept on moving and seeing all 4 directions. And that's why he got 4 heads. Lord's mercy was not enough, and that's why, though he could run up and down the stem, he could never reach the navel, and thus he could never see the Lord. This Brahma, when after his 100 years of meditation to find out how to do visarga or creation of secondary living entities. At the end of 100 years, he has been previously injected with the Vedas, and now Lord Brahma is breathing Vedas in and out. To keep the Vedas all intact in the body is very difficult with the Brahma, especially when there are issues and problems that he faces. Imagine the situation in such a huge cosmic manifestation. He is the first and the only one. Very similar to as if you're going to the moon and you are only 2 of you, and nothing else is there to support you. The water of dissolution jumps up and carries on until the earth is partially submerged. This is when Lord Brahma gets really scared. He sees the quantity of water increasing and flowing up and up. And he now certainly fears that he will get drowned as well. In this astonishment and fear, Lord Brahma opens up his mouth, and since his breathing becomes a mouth breathing, that's when all the Vedas jump into the water. Lord, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, immediately seeing this, takes birth as Matsya, a giant fish, and then starts roaming around in the water fast, picks up all the Vedas and protects the Vedas. Brahma could see that Lord has taken birth, and he worships the Lords. This is where the prayers of Lord Brahma begins. In other words, Vedas are being protected by this Matsya avatar while it is falling from Brahma, and Matsya avatar is also subsequently in each annihilations is where the living entities live when the water is going above the head, submerging the earth. Matsya avatar becomes the shelter place for all the living entities of the material manifestation. There are so many avatars that comes up one by one. The same Matsya avatar, we saw it when we were in the second canto. I'm sure you remember that. The second canto, 7th chapter, 12th verse. Matsya yuganta samaye manupapalabdha Chori mayo nikhil jivani kaya ketaha Vistransitanurubai salile mukhanve Adaya tatra vijaharaha Vedamargan. The translation will read, at the end of the millennium, the would-be Vaivaswamanu of the name Satyavrata would see that the Lord in the fish incarnation is the shelter of all kinds of living entities, up to those in the earthly planets. Because of my fear of the vast water, Brahma is speaking here, because of my fear of the vast water at the end of the millennium, the Vedas came out of my Brahma's mouth, and the Lord enjoys those vast waters and protects the Vedas. In short, this is the reference where Lord takes a Matsya avatar, and at the end of Matsya avatar, Lord also takes the various other avatars, tortoise form. Hayagriva, that's where he is like a horse. He has a horse mouth and the neck. So all these avatars actually are as transcendental as the Lord himself, because they are simply expansion of the Lord. In any way, we shouldn't think them to be a material form. They are all transcendental form. You know what transcendental form is. Transcendental form of the body is where the three modes of material nature has no effect, where all the senses can do all the functions. Skin doesn't just cover the flesh or has a touch sensation, but Lord can eat with the skin as well, can do everything else with the skin that he desires. Similarly, all the senses work for all the functions. These are the transcendental bodies. They are not sustained by any kind of fluid, because fluid can increase and decrease and cause problems. And there is nothing like blood inside. These transcendental forms are the forms what we call spiritual body. They are eternal, they never age, and they continue looking the same, and they are endless. Once you get a spiritual body, that is a transcendental situation, then it is eternal. I'm sure you remember Narada Muni had his physical body, and when he died, there was a big spark like lightning, and he got rid of his material body and immediately got the spiritual body of transcendence. This is one example that we have from the scripture. It's been said in the previous verse about the Ramyaka Varsa, where all these things are happening. I don't know whether you remember where the Ramyaka Varsa is. Let's see if we can locate that. This is our point of reference. It is Jambudvipa, and Jambudvipa is divided into various varsas. This in the center is Mount Sumeru, which is made up of pure gold. On the right hand side is Bhadrasva Varsha. On the left hand side is Ketumala Varsa. Ketumala Varsa is just your, you had two slokas on that where the Kupit lives and rules. The Ramyaka Varsa is situated somewhere up here. This is Ramyaka Varsa. And the talk is about that Varsa. And this tract of land is ruled by Vaivasvamanu. There are several Manus. You know that each day of Brahma has 14 Manus or Manvantras. And each day of Brahma consists of 43 lakh years in the in the context of solar years. And similarly, each night is 43 lakhs solar years. So 1 day of Brahma is 43 lakhs into 2. That makes 1 day of Brahma. And 1 month of Brahma is to multiply by 30. 1 year of Brahma is to multiply by 12. And when Brahma meditates for 100 years, multiply this by 100, that makes that many billion solar years that Brahma meditated to get the knowledge of how to create in the world. So it's not really very simple. It's quite complicated and quite exhaustive if we think in our own way. And as I said earlier, once the creation occurs, the inundation with the water is the first thing that happens. And then water recedes, leaving all the empty spaces in the planets filled with water. That's how we have so many oceans on the earth. It's said that we have about 78 to 90% of the land covered with ocean. Lord also says that all the avatars are always in pure goodness. We all know that 3 modes of material nature, ignorance, passion, and goodness, have limited value. They are material. They control the living entities, and they are illusions. But with the help of Krishna Katha or devotional service, when one jumps from the goodness to pure goodness, that's when the transcendence begins. Pure goodness is not under the control of modes of material nature, and it is something which is nearer to the Lord. When one achieves pure goodness, is said to be a Shuddha Bhakta. Shuddha Bhakta is a position from where you never fall down and never come back to the material world for birth, death, old age, and disease. Transcendence and pure transcendence, they are all same, because once you are in the phase of transcendence, it is always a pure transcendence, and so it's always a Suddha Sattva. So this is about the spiritual life that one has after the soul crosses all over the higher planets, where it migrates and pierces all the 10 layers of the universe. The first 5 of those 10 layers are the layers of Panchamahabhut, what we call the sky, the air, the fire, the water, and the earth. Earth being the first layer. Each layer is 10,000 yojanas, and each layer becomes 10 times more than the previous layer. Once you pierce these 10 layers, when the soul pierces these 10 layers, it enters into a spiritual sky or Vishnu Padesh, whatever you call it. That's what is called liberation. You are liberated from the material manifestation and you are in the spiritual sky. Once you are in the spiritual sky, you are in the soul is in the Sat Chit Anand phase, and that remains eternal. Then there are various planets and various positions that you can reach up to depending on your karma, and maybe you can reach up to the ultimate Golok Vrindavan. It is said that Golok Vrindavan is where all the pastimes of the Lords are being exhibited every day. The pastimes of the Lord and other pastimes that we read in Srimad Bhagavatam are happening at one or the other place in the universe, and they never stop. It's only our clean, uncontaminated self, when it becomes totally uncontaminated, we then are able to see them, what is happening. The knowledge about the Lord and knowing the Lord is also completely dependent on the wish of the Lord. And thus, everyone knows Lord differently, and everyone knows Lord to the different extent, because everyone's karmas are different. And that's why when we were doing Bhagavad Gita, we were told that everyone's spiritual journey is going to be different. Any question, any revelation, any commentary, any doubts, please go ahead if you have any. Hare Krishna. If there are no doubts, no questions, no commentary, thank you very much, all of you, for attending the morning class. All of you have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Vansha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patita nama pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Koti Vaishnav.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.